back at the Kubota tractor again, my BX23S, with that slow motion problem. We did part one where we diagnosed the problem, and the problem was in the HST, the hydrostatic transmission system, which basically uses a forward and a reverse pedal system for movement, forward and backward, and a control mechanism for speed. That's basically it. But mine has been causing some problems with speed. It's been going very, very slow, especially in reverse. Well, we found the issue in part one, as I just said. There's a nut that holds on the arm underneath the throttle system, and the nut was missing. So I went to the hardware store this morning and picked up some nuts. I did a couple of things in part one that I kind of want to recap and review with you before we move forward in this video, hoping that in this video I'll get that nut on and I'll get my speed back on this Kubota BX23S. Stay with me, folks. We'll solve this problem together, you and I. So here's the forward and reverse pedal on this BX tractor by Kubota. And in my case, as I said, it's been going very, very slow because there's an arm underneath that goes back toward the transmission, and the end of the arm has a built-on bolt with a nut that keeps it in place. Well, over time and with lots of use, my nut fell off, so I'm missing the nut. And then when I move my pedals, I have no speed at all, or very, very, very little. So I went to the hardware this morning and got some nuts, but just want to recap. So last day, I got it underneath and I took off this plate right here. So hopefully now I'll get in around and do the work that I need. There is a fuel filter there, and I've watched several videos, and people have told me I've got to remove that filter. I really, really don't want to do that, because if I remove the filter, I'm going to lose all of my oil, and I really don't want to do that. So I took off the plate, and hopefully now there's enough room in there to get my hand in. We'll have a look at that very, very soon. Here's the nuts that I went and bought this morning at the hardware store. I bought 3 different sizes because I wasn't quite sure which one it is. I'm thinking it might be the middle one, because the rod is about the diameter of a pencil, and that middle one looks like it might fit the ticket. This one might be a little bit too large, but we'll see. Hopefully, I do have the right size. Now, here's something else that I did. I went and made sure that I bought the nut that had the built-on lock washer. So this time, when I tighten up that nut, hopefully it'll stay in place with the built-in lock washer. So we'll have a look at that together very, very soon. Okay, so stay with me, folks. Hopefully we'll get this Kubota working today, and I'll get my speed back. Now, bear with me and wish me luck, because I'm going to go down underneath the Kubota tractor, down underneath Clementine, and I'm going to try and get the nut on, and I'm going to show you now. Now, you should be able to see the bolt right ahead of my flashlight. Now, I got to try to get my hand up there, and that's going to take 2 hands, so I'm going to have to ditch the camera so I can work there. Maybe I'll put the camera bottom up on the ground here, and we'll be able to see, and I might be able to continue chatting with you. Let's see if we can do that. Okay. Now, don't ask me how I managed to get the nut on there. I do have the nut on there. It's only on a couple of threads. Now, the problem is that the bolt is going around in the arm, and I'm trying to tighten up the nut, and it's all moving. So I gotta figure out a way. To stop the bolt from moving. So I got a old-fashioned flat top screwdriver here now. I'm gonna try and jam that in, and also at the same time, put a box wrench on that nut. So bear with me, and I'll see what I can do about having you join me in the video. Okay, so here's the arm. Hopefully you can see where I'm poking, folks. And
I gotta try and, like I said, tighten up that nut there now. And I hope it don't come off, because he's not on very tight. I gotta stop the bolt from moving. What I almost need is to figure out a way to get, but no, it doesn't have an open end on the other hand. It's just like it goes in a notch. Now, how can I tighten that up? I don't want, see, the bolt is moving. Okay, so, is that what is that? Is that smooth, is that round, or is that like a, okay, I should be able to get a wrench on that too, but it's right full of grease. Oh, I have a small pair of vice grips nipped onto the bolt that comes out of that rod, and now I need to get my box wrench up there and try to get a few turns on that nut. So again, bear with me now and see if I can get that lock nut tightened up. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna lay down the camera and see if I can give that a few turns. Folks, bear with me. You should be able to see the end of the vice grips. I do have them nipped there. Now, I gotta get my big hands up in that little tiny spot and try to get a few turns on that nut. Come on, Gary, you can do it. Okay, and this is going to be a slow and steady process, because I certainly don't want that nut to come off. I'm assuming now he's the right diameter, because he did thread, but he's tight. And so that may not be a good thing.
And it wasn't a good thing. I had to go to the dealer and get the proper nut and a lock washer, as you can see here in this picture.
I've been able to get the nut on. I got my wrench here now, and I'm pointing to the nut. I've got it threaded, actually a nice bit. I've got a lock pair of vice grips put on, and I'm going to tighten that as much as I can. I did put on a lock washer first, and the nut. So now I'm going to try to give it as many turns as I can. You can see it there. When I get that nut on, I got to come back here, right there. I'm going to try to see if I can show it to you now, because it's important for you to see this if you ever have this problem yourself. Okay, so there was, where I'm pointing to right now, there was a cotter pin on there. So I'm going to put the cotter pin back on. So there's that cotter pin. I've got that put in. It's basically just a piece of wire, a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier gauge than a paper clip. And folks, if you follow my needle nose pliers, that's the arm for the HST. And it goes up, like I said, all the way up to that nut and bolt that I put on. If I can show it to you again, hopefully you can see again my needle nose pliers. It goes right up there, and my needle nose pliers right now is pointing to the nut that I put on with a lock washer, and it's threaded quite a bit, because you can see a bit of the bolt. I have it as tight as I can get it, so hopefully now it will not work its way off when I start working with my tractor clearing snow over the next little while. I still have that metal plate to put on, so I'll do that next. There's the metal guard, or the metal plate that goes on now. There's the bolts, the 4 bolts. I'll get that on, and then I have my tire to put back on, and then I should be all finished. That's the plate, or the housing, that protects the transmission. I'm putting it on with those 4 bolts. I got it nearly all done there now. So I've got to put one spanner wrench, one box wrench on the nut part, and the other one I've got in my hand, and I'm using that one to tighten up the bolts. So let me do that, and then we'll chat again in a few seconds. Okay. Now, all right, I do think that's tight.
Well, folks, the only thing left now is to put the tire back on. very, very happy to get to this stage in this two-part mini-series on how to solve the problem of a slow moving tractor. We've done that, and very, very soon we'll start it up and give her a try and see if I have my speed back. So let's get this tire on. For that, I'm using my DeWalt impact drill with a 21mm socket. So let's do that. Now, move those lugs, Mr. Garry, and let's see if we can get this tire now on. And for that, I might have to jack up. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to start up the tractor. So bear with me because the tractor is a little bit low there now. Okay, so let me do that. Okay. Now, turn my key ahead. Okay, that'll warm her up a little bit. Count to 30 there, Mr. Garry. The glow plug, the yellow one there. Make sure it's on. Okay, so I think that's good enough. Now, back here. Oh, stop. Okay. All right, so I think I got her up enough there now. Okay, so I jacked up the tractor enough now that I think I can get my tire on. Probably a little higher than I need to actually, but that's okay. We'll get that on there now. Let me see if I can get that in on those two lugs. There we go. All right. Now, I'll put them on hand tight for now. Okay, there's one. And here's the second one. Yeah. Okay. Come on. One more, Mr. Garry. So I said I'll hand tighten them, and then I'll use the impact drill. Okay. All right, let's try the impact drill. 21mm. A little bit each time, and go around all five. Like I said, a little bit each time. All right, shoulder good and tight, Mr. Garry. All good. Okay, I'm going to start her up again. Okay, I should be able to let her down now. All right. Now, I'm going to put away my tools and take her out for a spin. All good, folks, all good. Well, folks, before I go, I want to say thank you ever so much for joining me in this two-part series on how to solve a slow-moving tractor, a tractor in slow motion. So we fixed the HST, the hydrostatic transmission. It was going really, really slow, especially in reverse. So we got all that fixed. I got a brand new lock washer and nut put on. So hopefully it'll last. If it happens again, I'll know, and we'll be able to solve it very, very quickly. But again, thank you ever so much for joining me in this two-part series. I've got my BX23S now, working in top-notch shape again, so that's all good. The next batch of snow apparently is coming later tonight and into Monday. So I'll be taking Clementine out to pay for her keep very, very soon. God bless, and you take care.